If you're looking for bullet journaling inspiration, this is the video for you. I've been using this bullet journal by Archer and Olive since January of this year, and in a few weeks I'm going to be switching into a new bullet journal, so I wanted to show you guys an entire flip through of all my spreads of 2023 so far. Like I said, this journal is from Archer and Olive, and I'll have a link in the description box so you can go check it out if you're interested. It has the prettiest flower emblem on the front, and of course inside there is this beautiful liner page from the Mint Garden collection. So starting out with the opening pages, I of course have my cover page, and as you'll see throughout this bullet journal, I did add a little bit more design into my first couple pages than I usually do. I kept this very neutral pink and green color palette and used these flower motifs throughout the entire beginning setup. And I liked how that brought a simple design aspect to the page without being too overwhelming and too fancy. As you can see, I used my future log a lot this year, mostly for birthdays, but some for like exams and big dates coming up in the future. So here's my goals page, and this is honestly super embarrassing looking at this bar right here. If you didn't see my beginning bullet journal setup video from January of this year, I'll have it linked down below as always so you can see how I set up all of these pages, and it is very much not updated. This line right here should actually be further closer to the midway point because I do have a lot of these things checked off. I just unfortunately haven't gone into my bullet journal and actually checked them off. And then here is a letter to 2023, and I'll read this at the end of the year to see if I accomplished what I wanted to in these past 365 days. Here is my book spread, and as you can see, I've definitely used up all of the books. I have read, I think, 26 books so far this year, so I'm actually further along than what could fit in this section. I'm in a little book slump right now. I've been reading quite slowly, but all of my books are recorded on Goodreads and Storygraph, so I don't need this list. I just like it for the aesthetics of it all. So next time I'm definitely going to want to make the list a little longer because I do have a couple books that I need to put in here, but there's obviously no space. And then my period tracker, which I'll talk about more in my new bullet journal setup that should be coming out next week. Here's a vision board spread that I obviously didn't make. Made a vision board online and I put it on my Pinterest and as my wallpaper on my laptop, so I still used a vision board, I just didn't put it in my spreads. So here we are into January. This was one of my favorite themes of the year. I was super nervous trying this theme out, but I was inspired by these washi tapes sent to me by Notebook Therapy, and I did a dark temple theme, and I kind of love how most of the spreads turned out. This one would unfortunately be a spread that I didn't love how it turned out. I feel like everything was very chaotic and not really brought together very well. And this is actually the introduction of black backgrounds into my spreads because as you'll see as we flip through, I use a lot of these this year. I hated these lanterns up here though, so this spread was always annoying to come back and look at. We have my expenses, my habits, and my gratitude, and these are spread elements, I guess, that I think I've used in every month so far this year. It's kind of just been a staple of mine to track a couple habits, to track my money and gratitude, and I don't think it'll be going away anytime soon because I have loved using these spreads. So we're finally getting into the weekly spreads. I set up my weeklies at the beginning of every week. Usually my weekly spreads start on a Monday. This one was on a Sunday because the first was a Sunday, but I always set up my spreads on a Sunday, and I always make a reel/YouTube short. So if you want to see me make any of these spreads, there's a 99% chance that it's either posted on YouTube, Instagram, or both. So you can go check those out if you're interested. I love making book spreads where I wrap up the entire year. It's a love and hate process actually, because ranking every single book that I read in one year is definitely difficult. But in 2022, I read 50 books, 18,638 pages to be precise. And by the way, this is all tracked in Goodreads and Storygraph, which is why I know the exact numbers. And my average rating was 3.84, which is actually a pretty decent rating if you ask me. If you look at these down here, this is like a chart of all the different rankings that I had this year. And I think it's pretty nice that I had a lot more 4 and 5 stars than I had anything else. My least favorite book last year was The Air He Breathes, which I actually DNF. And my favorite book last year was Hook, Line, and Sinker. I adore this book. I have it in paperback. I read it all the time. It's so good. Continuing into the weekly spreads, as you can see, I definitely used the washi tape from Notebook Therapy as a continuous motif throughout all my January spreads. This spread I love. Circle weeklies are super hard to do, and I think it's even measured weird. As you can see, there's a lot more space for like Thursday than there is for Friday. But even if it's not like perfectly symmetrical, I love the center drawing that I did surprisingly with water-based markers, not alcohol-based markers, and I still got a decent blend with it in the background, so I'm actually super proud because I spent super long time on making this spread pretty, and I'm glad it turned out the way I wanted it to. Here's a fun spread. As you'll see, like I mentioned, I include a lot of dark black contrast in this bullet journal, and I love how I experimented with that this year. So this is when I started putting it into my weekly spreads, and as you can see, I had to use a white gel pen to write all these. It made it a little inconvenient during the week having to carry around 2 pens instead of just 1, but I do think it looks pretty aesthetic, so I'm not gonna argue very much. So here's a planning page for February, which turned out to be my least favorite theme of the year. I do like to do these plan pages so that I can kind of see what color palettes I want, what types of textures, what mediums I'm going to be using, that sort of thing. And I put these little pieces of paper on top to see how the watercolor would work on the art journal of paper. So here we are into February, my least favorite theme of so far this year. I was really experimenting, so I used watercolors this month, and as you can see, I did a lot of splattering, and I liked the concept, but I felt like this was just a really small cover page, not much going on, and the colors were way too desaturated. And moving into the calendar page, this has to be one of my least favorite spreads of all. I don't like how everything looks kind of disjunct. I mean, maybe if you're looking at it, you could see that everything's connected, but for me, it's like this looks like it has nothing to do with this, and this color is different than like the washi tapes. Like it all just doesn't really match to me, and that kind of annoyed me. This last spread I ended up kind of liking. I do like how these two cupids in the frames kind of mirror each other, and how in the middle we have my habits and expenses, and also how the Dutch door was like just a perfect little line. That is satisfying to me, not gonna lie, but overall I just could not stand these themes for some reason. They just rubbed me the wrong way, and as you'll see, that kind of continues into the monthly weeklies because my inspiration definitely declined, and I did not create as cute of weekly spreads, but even less the aesthetic parts, just ones that didn't really make me happy to look at. This was super simple, and I like the like sparkle elements in here. It almost reminds me of Cinderella, but it's a much different color palette than this light purple. This is more of a gray, and I almost wish I had stuck with that in the original design. And then this pink completely clashes, so you can definitely tell that I gave up. Here's my weekly spread with the splatters. Practicing with watercolor, which is not a medium I use very often, was interesting, and I try not to use too much water, that way it didn't bleed through the paper. There's a little bit of rippling, and it can be a little bumpy, but it's not bleeding through. So if you have an Arch and Olive or another notebook with 160 GSM thick paper, keep that in mind if you're going to be painting directly into your journal. This weekly spread I actually kind of like. It's really simple, but I pulled in a little more scrapbooky elements, and it obviously deviates a lot from the theme. It was Valentine's Day week, so I tried to add a little bit more interest into the pages, and I actually like this spread the best out of all the weeklies, so you can see that there's a correlation between liking a spread and not liking the theme. And here's my last weekly. Don't you just love how detailed and artistic this spread is? At this point, I was done. I wanted to move on to a different theme, so let's do that. Here is my March theme. As you can see, I brought back those black backgrounds, and I actually love how this cover page turned out. I bought an X-Acto knife to cut around these little flower details around the edges, which took way too long, but it was definitely satisfying. Pushing over here, you can see my ballerina drawing in all her glory. I used alcohol markers for the first time in my bullet journal this year. It was on sticker paper, cut it all out, and I love this technique so much that it will definitely be a repeat throughout the rest of the spreads. I like this calendar, super simple, and I love the ballerina, of course. This theme challenged me to practice drawing anatomy and drawing, you know, different positions, because obviously a ballerina is definitely difficult positions. So it tested me to practice that in my bullet journal, and I like the way I have now gotten better at drawing like legs and hands and everything. I tried to match my alcohol marker colors with water-based marker colors, that way I could create, you know, boxes like this in the actual spread, and it still matched with the alcohol markers in my different art pieces. This is a weekly spread, very similar to one at the beginning of the year. If you'll go back to January, this spread looks awfully similar to this spread, so I definitely repeat my designs all the time. However, this drawing down here I think is just awful. I was just saying how I got better at anatomy, but this is an example of me not. Her thighs are not proportionate to her chest, which is not proportionate to her oh so small head, so definitely need to work on that, but it did get better throughout the month. As you'll see when I flip the page, we have a oh wait, I skipped one. Never mind. So this page actually doesn't have any anatomy on it, but I did love the design up here, and I actually used water-based markers for this. This is not sticker paper, so it goes to show you that you can definitely try using a black background in both alcohol and water-based. But yeah, moving on to this page, here is a better drawing of anatomy. I love this one. I think it challenged me to work with different back positions, and her hair is really nice in this one. So yeah, I love how this one turned out. Not so much this one. So here's my last weekly spread of March. It was pretty busy as you can see, but my last ballerina, and then over here is my planning page for April. I obviously tested a lot of different colors. I just want to find the perfect color palette, and as a page you can see what I finally landed on. So this is a very muted, desaturated theme. I wanted to mix gray with yellow with brown, which is such a weird color combination, and I was definitely nervous to try it. As you can see, I was practicing a lot of different combinations over here, but I finally just decided on these three colors and mix it with a little bit of green and pink, because I always use green and pink in all the time. And from what I heard in the comment section, you guys seem to actually really love this spread and you ended up liking this color palette. So I'm glad that I could inspire some people and that the gray with brown doesn't actually look bad, because technically those colors do clash. This is a spread that I really liked the layout of. I left this space open up here so I guess kind of write in my goals as I went, and then I had my 4 habits on the right. Gratitude, expenses, like I said, they come in every month, but I tried to change up the layout because, of course, if I'm going to be doing the same things every month, I want to have a little bit of variety, so I definitely played around with that throughout the months as they went along, and I think this is a good layout overall, and I probably will use this again in the future. Here's my first weekly spread, super simple. This one's inspired by Lila Journals, I think, on Instagram. And then on this week, I decided to do a lot of layering, which I love how this turned out. So I just tore off a huge piece of like off-white beige paper, and I love how this contrasts with the off-white paper here, with the yellow, with the white. It's like an intentionally blending colors that clash to make it look like they don't clash. The different paper up here and the washi tapes down here, if I just mixed it enough, it looks really intentional. So this was kind of a good month for me to kind of play around with color theory and break the rules a little bit on purpose. This weekly, I wanted to almost make it look like a flat lay of your desk with the AirPods and the coffee, but everything's a little bit unproportionate, and as you can see, this is angled upward, so it doesn't actually look like a flat lay. It looks like the desk is here, it's not flat, so it wasn't really that successful, but I think it is still pretty cute. And in the last weekly of April, I tried to draw this vanilla and tulip perfume bottle. Definitely took some trial and error with the highlights and the gray to try to draw a glass bottle filled with liquid, but I actually have an entire video about this spread where I show you guys how I design my weeklies, so go check that out, linked down below if you're interested. So here we have another planning page. As you can see, this is an example of me testing alcohol markers and then seeing if I had any water-based colors that matched the same essential tones of pink and red and gold and all that stuff. So here comes probably one of my absolute favorite, if not my favorite theme of the year so far, my May bullet journal theme. This came across kind of a random idea, but I did an Alice in Wonderland theme, and I found this pack of stationery ephemera off Etsy. I downloaded her paper, printed them out so that I had these personalized like Alice in Wonderland paper to use on the background of everything, and then I just added so many doodles and extra pieces of paper, and again, lots of black and white contrast. This drawing is inspired by Prickly Alpaca, and overall, I adore this theme. The issue is, I adore how this looks. The problem is in the Dutch stores. This poor rabbit, I talked about this in my May plan with me. He did not deserve to suffer like this. I wanted to try mixing color theory like I did in April, so I mixed the purples with the gray and the yellow, and it turned out like a mottled mess. So the poor rabbit did not look very cute. And again, like everything in these spreads just looks kind of unfinished to me. It just looks kind of sloppy. Like these shapes up here, obviously not well defined. They're just kind of thrown in there. Everything's just really scrappy and sketchy because I spent so long on the cover page, and I also feel like everything's a little squished in because it is a Dutch store. It felt like there should have been more space in the margins, but I just kind of leaned into the maximalist theme this month, so I just kept adding, and I mean, it works. It was still very functional, but overall I felt like the best spread was just the cover page, and I like how this looks because although it is really busy, there's a lot of white space to kind of contrast this maximalist section right here. So moving into the weekly spreads, when I had a chance, I wanted to draw a lot of detailed pictures like I did on the cover page. So this, I'm pretty sure, is the Mad Hatter from the live action Alice in Wonderland movie. Haven't watched any of them, but I saw this picture online and tried to replicate it, and then of course I have the scrapbooking around it, and I love how this spread turned out. Again, super time consuming, but looking at this spread made me very happy. And speaking of that, we come over to this next spread with the Queen of Hearts, and oh my gosh guys, I love this section of the spread. This flower looks stupid, I hate it, we don't look at her, but I love how this area is super detailed, and I spent a lot of time on this drawing of the Queen of Hearts with alcohol markers, again, sticker paper pasted in, layering, so much going on, and I love, love, love the details in here. This, on the other hand, is a much more simpler spread. I was kind of creatively burned out from all of those big designing from the past couple weeks, so I just took a very simple rabbit picture off the internet. This maybe kind of makes up for this poor guy over here, and used him as just a very simple weekly spread where I could just plan everything, because this was the week right before graduation, so again, super, super busy. And then here we have my last weekly in May. This one was a lot less busy. I had my grad party, but besides that, everything was just super free because I wasn't in school anymore, so I had more time to do more decoration. So as you can see, there's definitely a correlation between that, but love this clock, love the layering, butterflies. Overall, this is one of my favorite weeklies of the year so far. I think it's super cute. I think a lot of my favorite weeklies come from May because I had the time to just really put effort into what I wanted my spreads to look like, and that time definitely paid off. So coming into another planning page, on the left here we have oranges and green because this is kind of like the planning page I ended up using for real. My original plan was to do a jungle theme, and then I switched to a celestial dragon theme, which is what this color palette looks like, the blues, the pinks, the purples, everything like that. Then I ended up hating that theme, refilming my June plan with me, going back to the tiger theme, going back to these colors with watercolor and with markers, and that's what we ended up on for my last theme so far of this setup, my June bullet journal theme. If my May spreads isn't my favorite theme so far this year, it would be June. I don't know which one I can pick yet since this one is so fresh, but by the end of the year, I'll rank all of my themes from the entire year, and we can probably see my final ranking then. But if you can't tell a correlation, this has a huge black background, May had a huge black background, and January had a huge black background. So I have been obsessed with these black backgrounds and the contrast it brings to the spread this month and this entire year, really. And those are the ones I put the most energy in, the most time in, because obviously it takes a little bit to go in between all these little details, but they're the ones that I love the most. So it's kind of a give or take process there. I love, love, love this spread. I love how it correlates over here, and my June plan with me was just posted like 1 or 2 weeks ago, so definitely go check that out. It'll be linked down below if you're interested. This is another spread that I worked a lot on. This actually isn't marker, this is paper, so I had to cut out paper to measure around these little arches and everything, and then draw in the black in this part right here, because this drawing is entirely on sticker paper. There is a lot of layering right here, and I just like how the final effect turned out. And then this is a health tracker that I just implemented. This is my first month trying it out. Obviously, it's only been 2 days into the month. This is currently June 2nd, but I have been liking how this is working recently, so I'll probably bring this into the next couple months. So here is my first tracking spread. As you can see, it's another way to lay out things differently. So I have the habit on the top, gratitude, expenses. So here's my first and only weekly spread of June so far. It's definitely been a pretty busy week, but I love how I have this black strip down the middle to add that contrast. Again, there's not much going on in this spread. It's actually kind of a simpler spread, all things considered, but I do like the tiger tying in the elements from the front, and really it doesn't need much to tie in a theme. Just those colors, that contrast, possibly an art drawing like this that's similar to your original plan, and you have a cute weekly spread. So with that is all the spreads I have in this flip through so far, because it is the beginning of June. But keep an eye out, because next week I'm going to be posting my new bullet journal setup for the rest of 2023, and I am so excited to show you guys all the spreads I have planned. Definitely subscribe so don't miss that video coming next week. If that video is out, I'll have it on the screen here. If not, here is my stationery haul that I posted last week, so go check it out. Sending you all my love. I will see you guys in the next one.